Good anytime, my fuzzies, to a quick review of a game I just finished. All opinions in this video are mine and mine alone, so just please enjoy and don't take them too seriously. Thank you. Good anytime, my fuzzies, and welcome to a quick review of Bendy and the Ink Machine. As usual, Sorry. Like I usually do for these videos, I rate them 1 to 5. 0, 1, meaning that whatever they were trying to get across was just not good at all. I didn't like it. It just didn't really hit well and was just abysmal. 3 means that whatever it was trying to do was just basically hit it. No, nothing better, nothing worse. It was just okay. It was passable. And then bad. No, that's not bad. 0 and 1 is bad, which we haven't got any of that yet. It's more meh. And then 5, of course, means that whatever it was doing really blew my mind, made me want more, do more, and whatnot, and just really did good. So, great. So, we'll start with the story of Bendy and Ink Machine. Basic story, which, well, not really basic, kind of basic. You just go, an old friend's like, hey, the studio's closed down, but hey, go to the studio. And you're like, all right, man, I'll go to the studio. And as you go, try and figure out what goes on. You try and get the ink machine running for some reason. Not really explained why. But in doing so, Bendy comes after you, and you fall into the depths of the building. From there, you kind of go through just trying to get out. You meet some good, colorful characters, meet a fallen angel or two, and right in the end, you were able to defeat Bendy, possibly. The story seems, I don't know. For me, like I said, I have to go through the theories and whatnot about the game again, but it seems like either what happened didn't happen, or if it did happen, maybe it did. I don't know. Those are options. Either it happened or it didn't. Because there was some things pointing towards it was all a dreams like sequence, but other things pointing to no, some of it's real, some of it's fake. But overall, in the context, if this, like, going from what the game was showing, pretty good story. I loved a lot of the audio logs that a lot of games are doing now just to give you extra character depth and whatnot. Really helped get you in there. You kind of figured out. Some of them allowed you to go, oh, okay, so this projection monster that's walking around is most likely this character who's the projectionist. Okay, I know who Sammy Lawrence is from some of the logs. Alice Angel, this Alice Angel could be this person because of everything going on. And whatnot. So overall with story, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Because it was good. It really got me into it. There was just, like I said, you go to the studio and then you automatically want to turn the machine on. And then just few key points here and there that just don't sit right with me. Hopefully in the next game they do good. Like, it's nothing bad, nothing terrible. 4.5. It's just weird how you would just go, oh yeah, let's get the machine up and running, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm here to look for something. I guess I'll do that. Which I guess maybe it does. I don't know. But overall, a good story and classic story. We are going to go into the characters of that story, which once again, you saw a few characters. You had Henry being your character, multiple Alice Angels with their own unique take on the character, Boris's, though they didn't really talk, and a lot of the audio logs and whatnot. So overall, the characters were great. I enjoyed them greatly. They gave a lot to it. They, of course, allowed you to know a lot more of the world and what may or may not be going on, and just really drew you in to the madness of it all. And gave good backstory to how the company was run, so that even if you miss some stuff, and a lot of the stuff is in the background, to see, I'm sure, for the story-wise of it. But for characters, I'm going to give it a 5, because the characters were all unique and interesting and weird and goofy, and I completely love that. The setting of Bendy and the Ink Machine being in the studio, which also had a lot of underground parts, which is kind of weird to me because he had a whole big elevator, and some parts you couldn't even get to other parts throughout. and Joey's Drew's office being in the basement of it all. It's just really weird, and it also caves at the bottom of it. It looks nice. They have their own little drawn on style for a lot of the stuff, which makes it look good. Which if it's which makes me more turn to like a lot of this is fabricated, because it looked a lot of just, okay, this isn't important, we'll just draw a door here that no one will touch and whatnot. Well done, but yeah, it's just kind of confusing with the layers and whatnot. Instead of building up like most studios do, they built down, possibly to get more of the ink stuff. But it seems like a lot of the ink river was a byproduct of the ink machine. Maybe it's to hold it? I don't know. But the layout didn't always make sense, which makes me think maybe it's a lot more fabricated than reality. But overall, I love the aesthetic. I love a lot of the nuances of the place. It looked good. There was a lot to do and whatnot. They had many different areas to look at, including a carnival area, which was real fun. The main office floor, some back offices in the lower part. Yeah. So overall with setting, I'm going to give it a 4, because if you look at this from a realistic standpoint of an actual building that someone would make, a lot of it just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, maybe that's the charm of it and whatnot. But the areas look good. Another thing, although I like the drawn-on style, because a lot of it doesn't have color, some of it doesn't have color, so it kind of just blends in. So it doesn't, it doesn't take your eye off anything, which kind of helps with the story, so you're not looking at anything that's not important. But, yeah. The beautiful art style, but it also detrimentally hurt. I don't know. It was good, but I'm going to give it a 4, like I said, because the layout is kind of really weird to me. If they were actually to build a building like this, maybe it's more in line with some of the audio logs I didn't get, or story in general, possibly. But we'll see. Like I said, I do plan to go through this. I will look at the theories, but for now, this is a 4. 4 out of 5. A nice setting to be done in, but kind of weird if you think of it realistically, which you shouldn't always look at it realistically, but I am. So 4 out of 5 for that. And then the mechanics were fine. The main things you could do is jump and collect things, being soup cans that don't really do anything to you, unless they do. And then also attack with a weapon you have, if any enemies are around and you have a weapon. Besides that, there were some puzzles where you need to put ink in a machine to create a part you needed and whatnot. And even some boss battles, which were so-and-so. Very simple. I think the best boss battle there was the Boris one. At least he changed up his attack patterns. Whereas the one with the attraction guy was just kind of wait until you can do something. And Bendy was just watch out and move on. So overall, for mechanics, I'm going to give it a 3. Because obviously the mechanics weren't a main part of the game. It was mostly the story that you went through. But they did... No. Another reason is because a lot of the mechanics that were there, like a fetch quest with Angel, just went on for 1 or 2 more tasks too long, in my opinion. Which they mock that in the last episode there. But even besides that, taken out from that, when you have, there was the last battle in 5 as well. And, like, it was fun. You had the blob guys, and then they became helmet blob guys, which took more damage. And then you had the walking ink, and then they got weapons. But it went on for way too freaking long, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's good they evolve and whatnot, and that's good, but it basically just the whole thing in that mechanic in that area was just go up, hit, oh, I'm about to die, run around the ring a few times, go back, hit, run around. For me, that went on for a few more minutes too long. Like, I think in the end, when the walking guys finally got their weapons, it still went on for about 3 to 4 minutes after that. But overall, like, the mechanics weren't, like, nothing really new and whatnot. Again, this game does not rely on mechanics and shouldn't rely on the mechanics. It's more of the story that a means to an end, especially at the carnival area, which can be very frustrating for a lot of people. Even I'm gonna have fun going back to that. But yeah, it's just the mechanics were always a means to an end, just to give more time for the game. And like, it's one thing if it's, oh yeah, get the, like, at the end, chapter 5 there, it was make 3 pipes while going through this area, which wasn't even that difficult. You could probably just run through. By the way, if you shoot the barrel, they can't hit you as easy. Ah, neat. Shoot on a barrel. But yeah. But overall, mechanics are always a means to an end in a lot of games, and this one just didn't excite me. It frustrated me in that one part, but I won't hold it against it. Like, these games are beautiful. Like, the one thing I love about any indie game is that it's not always the mechanics, it's always the story that's really good. Some of them work well. Like Poppy's Playtime, I've really enjoyed the grabbing hands mechanic, because that does add a lot to it. To move, do switches and whatnot. It just adds enough to make me go like, yep, I'm interested in this, I want more. And even the games in there. But yeah. And then Five Nights at Freddy's, you had the doors and whatnot. Simple mechanics, but they do make for an intriguing, intense environment around that. With these mechanics in this game, like I said, they're not 100% bad. It's just your basic gameplay. Nothing too exciting. And then, yeah. Just what it had to be. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 because it didn't infuriate me. The mechanics all did work. It's just, they made choices to elongate the game a little bit longer. And it just, like I said, you could have cut out a task or two from the angel part. You could have taken a few minutes off of the spawning enemy part. And I think it would have been good. Because I'm not here for the game. The gameplay is fun. That's why you play games. But I'm mostly here for the story and trying to understand what's going on. But yeah. That's it. That's all of them. So overall, what did I say? Story, I think, was a 4.5. Characters, I think, was 5. 4.5. We have 4 for setting. 3. Yeah. Overall, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 for me. The game was really fun. The story was entrancing. It made me want to continue to figure out what the heck was going on. And I still don't know what's going on. Like I said, I'll have to watch theories, and hopefully the next game will explain more. The characters were interesting in their dialogue and adding more to what was going on behind the scenes before all this mess came about and whatnot. And even linking their character to the character in the game. Like I said, the projectionist, I'm pretty sure, is the one guy who was a projectionist. The projection monster, I think, is a projectionist that is mentioned in talks in a few audio logs. So that's interesting. The setting, well, nice, beautiful. I love the art style. It also didn't overly wow me in a lot of areas and was kind of basic. But was still good enough that made me want to go further. I could tell where I was in a lot of the parts and what things were, which is the main thing with these games. And it is an interesting setting to be in a studio. It's just also really weird how it's built with multiple levels underground and whatnot. And the mechanics themselves just were basic. They didn't add much greatness to the game, but they served the purpose that they were meaning to be serving. So that's interesting. Oh, I didn't even mention at the end you got a lens of truth type thing where you can see hidden messages on the walls. So it'll be interesting to see how that is used, because I don't think I've seen a playthrough using the lens everywhere to see what's up. Yeah, so we'll see that. But either way, I'm going to leave. I will be back for more of the game after this. This is just my review of the main game right now. Not well. Oh, that sucks. But yeah. But if I go through the game and feel like something really overpowered me getting 100%, I might make a new one of these. But for now, the game to me is a 4.5. I recommend playing it or watching it. It's a real fun time when it is a fun time. And I cannot wait for more from this series. It is a series I am really excited to play further. You'll be disappointed. I'm sure I will be. Anyways, thank you, my fuzzies, for watching this quick review. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game if you played it, or enjoyed my playthrough of it, or your own opinions, etc., etc. So anyway, thank you for watching, and have a good anytime. Take care.